Hello, my name's Elijah Ross, and today's review is Nia DaCosta's and Marvel's new movie, The Marvels. Following the events of Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan and, of course, Carol Danvers and Monica Rambeau begin to swap each other's places every time they use their powers, no matter what situation they're in. And, of course, after briefly meeting up, they find out they have a common enemy, being Durban. After what happened after the events of Marvel, the planet Kree has unfortunately been completely neglected, with no sunlight, very little air, and really less water. So it's pretty much up to them to take down the Ben, from pretty much sucking any element from any planet she may fit to restore Kree the planet. There has been quite a lot of considerable worry about this movie, not just particularly with the ongoing superhero fatigue about this movie, but also that this is officially Marvel's shortest film in the MCU library, as it only clocks in at 1 hour 45. To put that in perspective, the Avengers Endgame movie lasted for just a titty bit over 3 hours. Like, you can tell it's not going to be one of the biggest films if you want to consider it off of its runtime, which is again a major concern, but also that there was also major rumours that Nia DaCosta, the film's director, ended up leaving the movie post-production after some hearing back with Disney and some PR claims about, oh, she left because of an argument. Oh, no, she left because she wanted to film a project in London. Okay, we allowed her to shoot a project in London. Like almost like a spiral of, I'm not sure if it's lies or just full-blown contradictions or anything that's just been blown up or exaggerated by Disney. Yeah, and also knowing this is as of now the last movie that is not properly promoted due to the actors' strike, but since it's now over, we'll just see how the new Marvels movie went down, and it was okay. And the chemistry between Captain Marvel, Major Rambus, and of course Miss Marvel, the chemistry between these three are pretty really great as well, and they really bounce off each other. They get along really well, and they have like a great bond of sisterhood around them, which is something I'm really pleased to hear about it. And some of the scenes, they're kind of fun, including one scene where they go to a planet mostly existing in water and they mostly sing. Like, again, this does feel the back of mind a little bit silly, even though there is still that fun element behind it. Like we only communicate through singing, and yes, we communicate through singing if, I don't know, we're discussing Dr. Dance or discussing what to put on weekly grocery shopping. Like, I kind of want to see how it's admittedly a little bit silly, but the designs of that island is really well done. And also there was that one scene where all the cats swallow up all the humans to memory from cats. Again, this is something I never thought I'd see, but here we are. Like, we went from half of the whole planet disintegrating to cats eating up humans to Ellen Page's memory from cats. Like, I know it's a bit silly, but I do understand and recognise the camp factor of it. Like, it does put a slight smile to my face, but I'm like, okay, this is definitely one of more camp and more silly iterations from the MCU at the moment. And we have Ben being betrayed by Zane Ashton, who, although the motivations do definitely make sense as to get revenge for Captain Marvel for basically plunging our planet into complete darkness and complete famine, but the efforts of doing so does go on the wrong end of pretty silly. Like, I'm going to suck the air out of one planet, I'm going to suck the seas out of one planet, and I'm going to literally suck the sun. Like, you're basically at this point doing the third act of Spaceballs, where they make the Iron Maiden, like the Iron Maid, to suck out the air of planet Druidia, and basically that's her entire plan for the entire movie. Like, I'm gonna suck the air out of this planet, like, I'll not exactly make a giant Statue of Liberty meets Hoover statue, but smash a hole into space to essentially suck the air into her planet, or suck the sea into her planet, or suck the sun into her sun, which again, the methodology is a bit nuts and a bit silly, but I think that there comes a point where it's like, okay, this is getting it, stop it, that's just silly. Even though this is definitely one of the lighter entries in the MCU, but again, the movie has some pretty glaring issues, again, with its script. Again, this is a similar problem I had with, I think, Antman and Wasp Quantumania, where it's pretty much so exposition heavy, like it leans way too hard, like the movie almost tells you what happens rather than just show you what happens, to the point the movie is essentially typing its own Wikipedia page at this point. Like, it's so exposition heavy that I think it leaves almost nothing to imagination, and the movie just tells you what happened, like, oh no, I'm going to get sucked in a bottle, let's go, oh no, the villain's here, let's go, And also there's not really that much of an inner conflict between the trio of Carol Danvers, Monica Rambeau and Camilla Khan. Anytime they have like a massive problem with each other, they just resolve it like way too quickly, or anything goes down, they just go with plan B and they all go with it, like, okay, that wasn't good. We agree, yes. That's kind of how the interactions work. Like, when there's any pushback between any of the three girls, they'll be like, okay, plan B, which is we do this. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's good. And okay, we should not do that again. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. I think that's basically the interaction, and anything, how they basically respond to pushback and any criticism they have against each other. It just feels like they should be more like they kind of anchors the group back and kind of holds the three of them back. Like, what's the problem? Borrowing from each of these girls, and it feels like there's of course the chemistry between them is really good. I really like performances in the film, but it just comes a point where it's like, okay, what's your conflict between each of the three? Like, there's no real sense of a conflict, like inner conflict at all. And there's a couple of things that kind of ick me about the movie a titty bit. Like, the acting in a couple scenes is admittedly comes across as pretty stiff. Like, it's mostly just standing and like, yes, okay, yes. Like, I feel like the acting just becomes a tad wooden, like the whole movie kind of dies out of energy to an extent where the movie just almost like it stops at that moment due to the performances in admittedly 1 or 2 scenes. It doesn't like dominate the entire film like the one performances. Again, the performances are all fine, like Brie Larson, Tara Paris, and Amir Val-Arti. Again, I wouldn't say it's like it completely dominates the wooden performance. It's just a couple scenes where I definitely did notice it, where I feel like they haven't got enough room to breathe or had enough have enough to chew off on it. It just feels like nothing too much is going to happen within that scene. And also the fight scenes, like I said, could have done with some improvements, as I swear the strategy of the trio to end Ben is to distract her while fighting her as a trio. Like, I think that's the main strategy and main goal of this, as in we must distract Durban and just punch her, I guess. I think the fighting could have done a lot more better, a lot more enthusiasm, but it's definitely not in the sense of that 2015 movie Fantastic Four with Miles Teller, where it is literally just punching and nothing else happened. Like, there's definitely more substance in that fight, but I feel like the movie in the third act could have used a lot more oomph and a lot more strength in that fight. Like, I feel like it kind of feels a bit standard, a bit too safe in the third act. But again, this movie isn't trying too much, in my opinion. The Marvels, although it's definitely a bit of a quirky and a bit more fun, the movie, in my opinion, just feels like a very long episode you may find on Disney Plus. Like, even though the action scenes, particularly third act, was a tad boring, the villain's motives does definitely make sense, but were horribly executed. But although the acting could have done with some improvements, the movie, again, it's inoffensive at best. Like, it's not terrible, it's not bad really, it's just pretty middling at best. Like, I definitely watch this movie again over like Thor: Love and Thunder or Antman and Wasp Quantumania, but I wouldn't place the movie like personally high, let's say the internals. But I feel like the movie is a bit inoffensive. Like it plays it a bit safe in my opinion. Like, I definitely do like a couple scenes like where they put memory from cats in the scene. The fight scenes, particularly the opening one, was actually super fun, and when they were switching each other's places. But again, with the runtime of like an hour and 45, I feel like at this point, this superhero movies are not exactly giving all the money's worth at this point. But again, if you want something, if you're like a die-hard Marvel fan, then this movie is for you. If you want something to kind of pass like less than 2 hours away, then this film might do the trick. Or if you want something that would really up the ante or really flip the table when it comes to the MCU, this is not quite it. Again, a couple of good moments here and there. It isn't the most rage-inducing movie out there or the most awe-inspiring. It's just a safe option. How I would put it, in my opinion. So I'm feeling the Marvels is a 6 out of 10. So, what do you think of the Marvels? Like this video, comment down below, subscribe to my channel, and follow me on Twitter and Instagram and Letterboxd. And this is Elijah Wells, and bye.